What's happening? How's it going? I thought I'd jump on here real quick, make a YouTube video. I know that my YouTube videos recently they've been a bit lengthy, and also the views are like not there. So I'm just experimenting with different types of videos to see kind of what registers with people. But at the same time, to be honest, I'm not making these videos to get views. I'm making these videos mostly selfishly for my own benefit, so that I've got stuff to look back on. But anyway, today's just going to be a bit of a recap on the last week, or the last couple of weeks, which has been really interesting. So here's what's been going on. So weirdly, I did my two first like public speaking gigs in 1 week. The first one was at Tyler Newman's, one of Tyler Newman's events, like a property ed meetup, and he asked me to come and speak. And I did a presentation and I prepped it all, and it went really well. Like, I was super nervous. I'm just not comfortable with public speaking, but it went all right. Anyway, so I did it. I've actually got the footage of the long form talk, which I will upload onto YouTube at some point. And then the second one was at my own mastermind. And I thought, I'm going to challenge myself by doing my own presentation. So I did like a 20-minute presentation on the power of goal setting. And that went really well too, I thought. I've had some pretty good feedback. So, you know, I'm putting myself out there more to do the public speaking stuff. What is that all about, right? So it essentially is about leaning in. So when I work with other people, one of the things I always encourage them to do is to lean in more to the things that they want to do, but kind of may have some fear about. And I definitely have some fears about not only public speaking, but just generally putting myself out there. I'm definitely one of those people who has this kind of, I don't want to say concern, but like, I wonder what people are going to think. Do you know what I mean? It is always in my mind that, and I have this like, I guess I have some limiting beliefs about whether or not I'm qualified to do what I'm doing. And I would always advise people who came up with those kinds of like reservations. I'd be like, fuck that. You know, people don't care. If people do dislike it, then they're not your people. Lean into what you want to do, right? But I don't do it myself enough. So, and I mean, part of starting this YouTube channel was a little bit about that. So, do you know what? Like, I think I'm going to really make an attempt to lean in more. And what that looks like is I'm going to put myself out there more to speak in public. When I did the first talk at Tyler's event, you know, he gassed me up a lot, and he said, you know, you're born to do this. You've got a really interesting story. People can take a lot from it, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of like get a little bit like, yeah, and it makes me a little bit uneasy, uncomfortable. But then I always go on about stuff that makes you uncomfortable, you should do more of. So it would be remiss of me not to go in on it, right? So leaning in more is kind of what I'm going to do. I'm sort of, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sort of like experimenting more with the content I'm making. I'm trying to put different kind of things out there to see what I enjoy and to see what resonates with people. But essentially, that's kind of what's going on there. The rest of the talk was really good. I really enjoyed meeting some people, putting myself out there. I brought Lloyd, who's my main content guy. Obviously, Lloyd doesn't do my YouTube stuff. He does all my social media stuff. I took him with me, and we got loads of like pictures and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just kind of like gathering content now all the time, because there's a lot of stuff I do which is, you know, which is good content, you know. It's so funny because like for years I just avoided creating content, but here I am like creating tons of content. And actually like just really weirdly enjoying it. And that was the weirdest thing about doing the presentation. I really enjoyed it. I was really nervous. And then after the first sort of like 10 minutes, I sort of like got into it. And then afterwards I felt great. and it reminded me of like being in a band and like performing and getting on stage and doing the thing. So it made me feel really good. So I'm going to do more of it. And then, so anyway, the mastermind was, I did my mastermind on Saturday, the Saturday just gone. And that was really good. There was like the most people I've ever had, there was about 20 guys there. Really good mix of guys. Some guys who are like totally new to this sort of self-development stuff, and guys who have been doing it for ages and who are crushing it. And the room was just really, it was a really interesting room, man. There was some great conversation. It was quite fun. I had good feedback. I've still got tweaks that I need to make to sort of like hone it even more, but it's getting better and better every time. And I definitely feel like I'm providing a lot of value to the people who are coming compared to the amount that they're paying, right? So that was amazing. I really enjoyed that, and I got great feedback, and I was really, really buzzed. And if I'm honest, when I went into it before this one, I was kind of like 50-50 whether I was going to continue doing these, because they are like, there's a lot of work involved for no money. Like, I don't make any money on them. And I'm constantly like second guessing myself at the moment, where I'm sort of like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point in doing this? But and then it went really well, and I was like, well, I know why I'm doing it, right? Because because things are happening, and it's going really well. And then I'll just go online sometimes, and a lot of the guys who come to the mastermind are like crushing it, and it's just like really inspiring. So like, I get really inspired by the guys who come and the stuff that they do. It sort of keeps me motivated. It keeps me in this ecosystem of productivity and motivation, which I really like, right? I think a lot of people look too far afield, but what I've kind of done is created this group that I get to draw from quite a lot. It's quite selfish, really, but it's incredibly beneficial for me. So that's really good. So there's like extreme highs and extreme lows at the moment. Extreme lows would be another one of our customers went out of business last week, which is fucking crazy. They owe us a chunk of money, but not a huge chunk. And I'm pretty confident I'll get it because another contractor has taken over. Fingers crossed, the contractor that's taken over is a big customer. So my effort is trying to get in with them. But I'm working a lot at the moment. I'm working a lot. Most of my week is just plugging away on to-do lists and doing all the things I need to do. But because I'm working a lot at the moment, what I'm noticing is how distracted I get. So I have to monitor that quite carefully. But essentially, some things are going really well. Business is growing, or at least the amount I'm doing is growing, and how do I say it? The momentum is growing. But still, this customer going out of business is just causing such like cash flow problems, and I've got cash that I just need to get my hands on cash at the moment. I've got the 2 property purchases going through. I need the cash for that. I've got like the AI startup business that I haven't spoken much about. That is the first funding phase, and me and my partner Kirk are funding it ourselves. Before we went to investors, we were like, we got to do it ourselves, right? So I've got to find the cash for that as well. And then obviously I've just got to find a huge amount of cash to run Skyline, which takes a lot of cash, materials, blah, 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 all the rest of it, everyone's wages. So it's kind of like that is the name of the game at the moment. Get as much money in and just keep on doing the right thing. Keep on trying to do the right thing. And try and maintain some element of momentum. But I am in this extreme stage at the moment where I am horrifically stressed and under immense amounts of pressure, but also very excited about what is happening and all the things that I'm doing. And it's tiring, man. Like, it is tiring. Like this weekend, if you follow me on Instagram, what you'll have seen this weekend is me just taking myself off and like meditating, right? Like when I say meditating, the way I do it is I get on a motorcycle and I ride, or go and smoke a cigar. And I've had to really like put myself in put myself in a situation where I have space to think and consider things. Because that is, in my experience, that is the most important thing to do sometimes. Create space for yourself to think, consider, plan your next move, all this kind of stuff. Make sure you're focused on the right things. Make sure you're doing the things that are moving the needle. These are the most important things to be doing. Not just being like a busy fool, because I can do that. I can fall into that trap quite easily. So that's what the week has been like. I'm looking at my schedule for next week here, and it is like, there's a lot going on. Like there is a lot going on, and I think in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the AI business and start talking more about that, because that will be in the creation phase. We've created it. It's going to a company who are developing it now, and so I can talk about it. I've not been able to say much about it until now. I will talk about it in the next one. Essentially, that's what's going on. I'm not going to drop more than that right now, because the last few videos have been 20 minutes plus, and I wanted to make sure I just did like a 10-minute video. But here's what I will say: if you're watching and you're considering the mastermind thing, this is the one thing that I push the most, because it is so good. Most of the people who come, I'm really confident with it. There's so much value to be had. If you're even a little bit curious about it, then shoot me a message on Instagram, and I will put your name on the list. I'll probably ask you a few questions, right? Because you got to be right for this. You've got to be right for the room. So, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of people it could benefit. We're also talking about doing some other crazy things like physical challenges and all this kind of stuff. So I've got lots of plans, lots of things going on. Got to focus, right? But anyway, that's my little update. I will post the long form talks, and I will also, the next video will be, I'll break the silence on the AI thing. And I'll see you in the next one. If you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I get very, very few views, but if you want to support me, that's how you can do it. And make sure you're following me on Instagram at Tom Ford Online. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.